I despise airports. Oh, hold on, I said, looking around the gate area for an open outlet. My phone hadn't charged the night before, and now my battery rested at 11%. When it dipped below 30, my anxiety started to roil, much like when the fuel gauge reached 25%. I never saw any point in taking chances. Where are you? My best friend shouldn't have had to ask, because my job always left me in the same place, and I grumbled my response, going in search of an available spot to charge my phone. Where else? I attempted to navigate around the group ahead of me, who had decided 4 people at a leisurely stroll was the ideal spread and speed for the middle of the crowded walkway. I didn't have somewhere I had to be, not for another hour and 33 minutes, but that didn't lessen the rising frustration at having to slow my pace. Why haven't you quit that job yet? I heard conversation and birds chirping in the background, and assumed Gia was walking outside on the college campus where she taught chemistry. For starters, I quite enjoy the paycheck. I finally eased past the leftmost person, earning a cutting glance as if I'd used my roller bag as a battering ram. Things like that tend to come in handy for food and shelter. Ahead, a kid stood and reached for the cord attached to his device, and I quickened my pace. Sure, but you have another source of income. My best friend hadn't been shocked when I told her I wrote a romance novel, much like she hadn't been shocked when I told her I'd gotten a job in risk assessment. She'd simply demanded I send her the draft, and 5 published novels later, she was still the first person to read my work. Only I hadn't sent her anything in a while, because I hadn't written anything in a while, not since turning in my last manuscript. It was as if all my creativity was in a piece of lost luggage, with my next deadline looming ever closer. Attention in the terminal. If you lost your phone, wallet, and cigarettes, please return to the security checkpoint. That person is having a bad day. I stepped around 2 young people cuddled together on the floor, basking in the warm light of an iPhone. Immediately past them was an elderly couple, both in wheelchairs being pushed by 2 young men. Young love, old love. Love was all around me. And even though it was my job, my second job, to write love stories, I had no new ideas. The well was dry. Gia pulled my attention back. You still with me? Sorry, and I can't quit my job, but I especially can't quit my job if I can't finish this manuscript. Maybe you'd be able to finish if you took time off to let your creativity replenish, or if you went on a few dates to get inspired. It's not like inspiration is going to jump out at me just when I need it. It might, she said. You might meet the girl of your dreams in line to buy a cinnamon roll if you put down the carrot sticks and let yourself enjoy something. I remembered the first time I'd flown, when my parents brought me to the States. The smell of cinnamon when we passed a Cinnabon smelled like opportunities. I glanced at the storefront to my left. Now I barely registered the scent. I spotted someone else eyeing the kids' outlet and ticked up my speed. Why did you call, other than to question all my decisions? That was the main purpose. She laughed into the phone, and I felt the pang in my chest of missing her. My best friend since my first day at uni, or at college, as she would challenge me. Gia and I lived half a country apart, and I'd never found anyone else I could connect to like that. I missed her laugh. The colleagues I spent all my time with chuckled, but I hadn't been around real laughter in a long time.